Okay, Dad, tell me your name.
Name's Elvin Hooper.
And how long have you been a resident here?
62 years.
So you're born what village and what year?
I was born in Buxton, July the 9th, 1949, at the old hospital where the Pheasant Center is now.
Okay. How long do you say your family's been here on the island? How far back? How many generations?
I don't know, forever, I guess. As long as I can remember. As long as the Hoopers have been here.
So how many hurricanes have you been experienced on the island?
All of them since 1949, I guess 1950.
And
I would say at least a dozen, probably.
A dozen. And you stayed for all of them except one?
Gloria, yeah.
In 1985?
That's because you was a tiny little girl and I was afraid.
What do you feel this hurricane's going to do? Hurricane Irene.
I think it's going to be just about like probably Gloria. It's going to come up parallel to the coast. If it holds on the present track that National Hurricane Center's got it coming, it's going to come directly over us. The eye will. The wind will breeze from the southwest, from the southeast to hurricane force, from the east to hurricane force, from the northeast to hurricane force. All the roads will be flooded. There'll be tons of sand washed over the road. The island will be completely impassable. We'll be without power probably, I at least would say probably 24 hours, maybe longer. Depends on how bad the system's torn up. Once the center gets by, the wind's going to kick around to the northwest first. And then Hatteras Village, Buxton, and Frisco will all be flooded by northwest winds. Then it'll come out of the due west, and Kinnikit and Buxton will get it up to your eyeballs in from the sound side, and then when it comes out of the southwest, all those three villages of Chickamaucomico up there is going to be inundated, probably 6-8 foot of sound tide all over the place, all over the entire island. And depending on the electrical system, the EMC has done a lot of work, but there'll be a lot of isolated outages, such as the secondary going to houses because of tree limbs and things of that nature. I think the primary will be, it all depends on how far it affects the East Coast all the way up. We get our power from north of us, and if the primary's gone, why, it's going to be a mess. It'll take a long time, but there'll be isolated instances where the distribution going to dwellings will be out because of tree limbs taking out the distribution lines, not the primary lines. Probably Sunday, it'll get on through here Saturday and Sunday, and probably by Monday, other than the cleanup and trying to put the place back together, you won't know anything's probably happened. I think if it comes directly over top of us, there's going to be lots of damage, though. Lots of damage to the structures and trees blown over and all sorts of mess to clean up.
In what case would you feel like you would ever leave for a hurricane? What instance would that be? What category? And which way would it blow in that you feel like you would
probably
leave?
Probably a category 4 or a 5 that would come in at a 45-degree angle like Isabel did and like Emily was coming. Anything that goes out directly around Bermuda and turns due west and washes completely over the island. The only saving grace we have, if there's any, is that most hurricanes go by like this one is. They're going parallel to our island. So a lot of the storm surge is washed around. We're not like Galveston Bay, or when you get up in the northeast where New Jersey stops and New York sticks out. If this category 1 goes up there, it's got a natural bay. They'll have tremendous tidal flooding there because it'll be directly over Staten Island out there. I mean, there's no way to stop it. Here, most of the tidal surge will be going parallel with the island, but those huge waves are going to force the ocean into all the weak spots, such as east of Hatteras, north of Buxton, in between Rodanthe and Avon, and north of Rodanthe, those S-curves. There's going to be tons of sand on the road. We might even lose some pavement.
Now, when you were a kid, there used to be inlets between Buxton and Avon. Do you think an inlet will cut there?
Well, you know, in Isabel, one cut to Hatteras and almost cut there then. In 1963, there was an inlet cut to the north of Buxton, and it could very well possibly happen this time. If it gets running over there, that Canadian Hole or the Haulover is a very thin stretch of beach through there. I think probably if global warming continues in the next 3 decades, the Hatteras Island, as we know, is going to end up like the Keys. It's going to be a mass of smaller islands. I don't know how you're going to traverse the area or whatever, but east of Hatteras is going to be cut out someday. North of Buxton is going to be cut out someday at the Haulover. There's a bad space between Avon and Salvo that's going to be cut out. The S turns north of Rio Nancy will be cut out, and up there by P Island Ranger Station right through there, that's a real thin area too. That'll probably be, I don't know if I won't be around and have to worry about it, but I don't know if they're going to build bridges to get from one little place to the other, but if it continues and these hurricanes get more violent, this place will look like the Keys in 30 or 40 years. You have several islands instead of one.
Okay, well, thank you very much. You heard it from the guy that's been here forever. Thanks.